7:20. Meeting at 7:20. Roll call.
Dave Williams,
Here.
Scott Stevens, Sue Starkey, Dave Adams.
Excuse me. Agenda item 3, accept the meetings of the previous meeting, April 13th, 2017. Anyone wants to make a motion? Okay. All those in favor? No changes, additions, corrections? Okay. Okay, citizens forum. Anyone have anything to say? Wants, needs, desires, concerns, gripes, complaints? All right, agenda item number 4, citizen forum. Agenda item 5, request for waiver, 7:15. It's nice that we waited. St. Michael Romanian Church. There we go.
Nick Cuomo from St. Michael's.
Yep.
Just asked to waive our Board of Health fee inspection for this year. As I rudely interrupt you guys with this.
So,
Yes. I would like to have it waived if it's possible.
that's for our food?
Yes, we serve food. We do a community meal every month, and we put on events throughout the year, and we contribute to the community, we think, quite well. So.
And it's the usual practice
Yeah.
to grant these?
So Andy, you want to chime in?
Historically, the board has given the churches and the nonprofits.
I make a motion to grant his request.
Thank you.
I'll second. Well, no, we had discussed this before about revisiting
The waivers?
the waivers. And I missed that meeting because when this went on the agenda, I was on vacation. So I actually wasn't here to address that.
Okay,
I
so,
mean, now I guess really it's not the time because
so do you want to put, I mean, let's deal with this first and then let me
no,
ask it
that's
later.
fine. So for discussion, you seconded it? I think maybe for the next fiscal year, we could put a different policy in place, but to finish.
Right, that was going to be my suggestion. Let's put it on the agenda. We are going to talk about the whole, everything, the budget-wise, so we can just deal with it at that time to make
That's
it.
fine.
But you're right, this would be like a little like changing the wheels on the bus while it's moving. Yeah, I don't think it would be fair.
We've never done that.
What?
Yeah, we've never done that.
I lived that. All right, any other discussion?
No.
Okay. Anyone else have anything to chime in? Okay, all those in favor for the fee waiver for St. Michael's? Okay. Okay, all set.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, ladies.
Agenda item 6, Casella.
So I just have a quick permit update, which after we kind of discussed with you. But the site suitability, the public notice requirement is still in the process of being completed. So DEP has not been notified of the completion of the public notification, so public comment would not open until that notification is complete. I believe at a previous meeting, it was mentioned that public comment was open, but that's not the case. So it's going to be relatively soon. I wish I could give you an exact date and time, I just don't have it. And then the SW26 permit is the only other ongoing permit right now, so that's for the Phase 11 project over by where the leachate tanks are. And we're finishing up our response to the technical comments that DEP and I'll give some comments on that. So we are in the process of just finishing that up. We're waiting on a couple of responses from the third-party engineer, and we should have that buttoned up pretty soon. So they're both on the verge of being done, and I won't have any more permits to update you once those two things are done. And the other thing is, at the last meeting, Dave had requested a map with certain things on it, so I got that done, and
You got it?
I got it.
Wow.
It was delivered. I don't see it here, though.
I want to see it.
Oh, okay.
Can we put push pins in it?
No,
You can do whatever you want to, it's yours.
we're gonna ruin it.
You would deface my beautiful map.
I know.
Well, we gotta put push pins in it. It won't be any good if we can't put
You can, it's on phone
Why
board.
don't we just get a laser pointer when we point at things?
Pointing in people's eyes, you know.
Somebody likes low tech, somebody likes high tech.
Oh, we gotta have push pins. They look,
We don't wanna
and
ruin
when we have,
What
color
are you
coded.
pushing your pins for?
it doesn't matter.
He's not pushing pins, he's pushing buttons now.
It doesn't matter whether you actually have reasons. You can say, okay, here is this and here is that. Little flags on the push.
Never you
Rambling
did.
the world.
Whatever you do.
All right, oh, look at this. Wow,
Nice. Thank you.
wow.
Very nice.
Okay, so that's what I gotta put it back.
All the things that you, I have my little list of things that you asked for, so we can kind of go.
We don't
over
need
those.
push pins, they're already there.
So you wanted the phases of the landfill, so you
Yeah.
see it starting all the way at phase 1 and going to 7-4 stage 2.
Perfect.
You wanted the groundwater wells, so you have all the various stages of them there, refer to your key over in the corner between the
Okay,
So what do they look like?
bullseyes and the,
The little bit of things in the triangle.
Surface water sampling, the triangles, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
and then you wanted to see the wetlands. You can see the wetlands marked out all the way around with the blue dash. And I think it was Gus who wanted to see the conservation, proposed conservation here and conservation over there.
Nice.
Well, it's a chapter, 97.
We have the town lines up there.
Yep.
And the orange. Nice. Very nice, thank you. That actually came out,
Yeah.
I think that's good, because it's not, I don't think it's too much, it's not over.
Yeah, I like that it was I like that it was a picture, you just,
Yeah, it was easy to read.
so you can actually see, okay, that's where the road is, that's
There's the
where,
blue building,
You can see
there's
the
the residential drop off.
tanks, the basins,
Hmm.
the flares.
nice.
It is yours.
Okay,
Very nice. Thank you. I think that will be incredibly helpful.
Who's your map?
Oh, just Sanborn had, it's not that fancy. They just adhesed it onto some foam board.
but that's nice to be able to just pop out.
It's not too big, but.
Okay,
Thank you.
great, thank you. Wow,
Yay.
so at least when we talk about it, we can at least
Something to
refer.
refer to.
See where you're talking about.
Excellent, anything else, Tracy?
So go ahead.
So what's in the code that we were having hearings and things like that?
As in
We
what?
was, well, we were going to be starting and all that.
Right,
well,
well,
this
The site suitability got denied. They made a negative decision on site suitability. If they had made a positive decision, we would have been probably, that was about 30 days ago, right? We would probably be approaching site assignment hearings right now. But they made a negative determination. Casella came back with a request, SRD came back with a request for reconsideration. Massachusetts has never granted a reconsideration before. There's no record we can find.
Oh, that's interesting.
So DEP doesn't have set timelines in which they have to adhere now. They're
Oh, so this
kind of
is-
working
So
within,
that's why Tracy didn't give us any update, because there's only 2 other new things.
Well, I did, the update, first update that I gave was the public notice, and that's part of the site suitability. So, once the site suitability reconsideration documents went in, we had to do a public notification of that information. So, once all the public notification pieces are back and we provide that to DEP, then the time clock starts again.
and then you'll have public, then you'll have public
There'll be a
input.
public comment period and then a positive determination, and then within 30 days of that positive determination, is when the site assignment hearing would.
Or a second
Yeah, or
negative
Do
determination.
you have this all laid out in kind of a step?
DEP doesn't even.
Yeah.
The 21-day comment period from the
notification of public
notification
comment.
time was announced by DEP, but that's not even required in the law, right? The law doesn't spell out this many days for comment, this many days to review, this many days to,
Right,
I can't-
it's at their discretion.
I can't find it anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, right? I'm not
Okay,
saying
that's
making
like
up as they go along, but it's weird.
So we're just waiting for them and they could take as much time as they want then. Suddenly, one day they come up with a decision,
Mhm.
then that kicks off another
30 days.
30 days.
A 30-day period for us to get prepared. We have to have our first hearing within that 30-day period.
So wait, now we think that there was public comment, we are waiting for them.
There is no public comment.
And
Public notification, we're finishing public notification.
Thank you.
As soon as they actually file public notification, it will kick off a 21-day comment period, which, and.
Public comment.
Here, all these publics,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was just trying to do guesstimates of how far forward it'll go. It's unpredictable based on what you said, but even after Mass Department of Public Health makes their next move, it's still going to be
Exactly.
at least a couple months before.
Yeah, I think you could guesstimate, today's April 20th, so let's just make it easy. So, and this is all just to go through the process, these aren't dates that anybody can be held to. So say May 1st, we say DEP, we have completed the required public notification. Expect the DEP is gonna take probably at least, there's a 21-day comment period, so say that takes May, okay? Expect that DEP will probably take June to do their review. All right, so say that sometime in July, they come back and say to the board, July 15th, let's say, we have a positive determination, then you would need to have your first hearing by August 15th.
now, there's nothing to say that they don't find something in the public comments, that they want to reach back to Casella and say, this public comment troubled us, can you answer this? And that stops the clock all over again.
It pushes.
It pushes things back again.
So what happens?
So,
But
I
we can
imagine
probably make plans,
August-ish.
and all our days and nights won't be tied up probably till somewhere in August.
Or
Just-
November.
August, September, I would say a 30 to 60-day review period by DEP is not unreasonable.
Yeah, no, nobody knows for sure, but I think it's, safe to say a 30 days, probably not unreasonable.
Thank you.
So best case scenario, we're looking at August, right? That's really,
Yeah, just by a rough analysis.
right.
2 week play around that, like if we were really unlucky.
But even if something happens, I think we'll have to make allowances for the fact that you've already got,
Yeah,
vacation plans and all that, we'll have to work around that. We're not gonna have the whole public, we're not gonna have meetings if somebody can't make it. That's
We'll
not,
have to because there's deadlines that we have to meet.
we have to have the first
We're-
one.
we're-
Through first to our attorney, we'll ask Casella for consideration for that then.
Right.
Casella can give us consideration. We're supposed to give a decision from the first hearing, we're supposed to give a decision within 45 days.
That's correct.
In 2008, we asked Casella for a little bit of forgiveness and they granted it within reason.
Certainly during the summer, people have to be a little understanding. Not everybody's gonna hold their entire summer open for this. All right,
That's all I know.
Sue, you all set?
Yes.
Okay. Elizabeth? Okay. Okay, chairman's announcement. So the map, and that was the only thing. Map, and I think that's great. Health director announcements?
We have Bruce Haskell in place as our technical advisor. We got that through town manager. And the second thing you asked me to do to get prepared for these hearings is to get in touch with the schools and make sure the availability of the high school auditorium and the Cole Street auditorium. I can't do that. I called them and they said to fill out the request for the space. I don't know the dates until we go through the whole
Right.
time process. So I won't be able to secure those until we're really close to the hearings. I probably won't be able to secure those until we're like within the 30 days of the hearing. So I've already made contact with the schools where we have something in place that we can move forward quickly, but I can't move it until that time.
Okay.
Why do you guys just do it upstairs like you did last time?
In the middle of the summer with no air.
No, it would be hot, no question about
No air
that.
conditioning up there.
It's always the fallback.
And I believe they started.
Probably will let
It's
it
brutal.
so.
It's brutal to do 3-hour meetings in
Oh, I know,
the heat up there.
I totally agree.
You know,
It's not
the
even-
new high school, nice auditorium, nice seating, audio system, projector, all that, everything there is
Oh, yeah.
great, plenty of parking, so it's just.
But if it goes into the new school season, we could have a play that's trying to get practice.
Not in the beginning of the year. They usually middle, December, January. So, okay. Anything else?
No, good.
Okay, board members? Sue?
Nothing?
Pat?
I just wanted to mention, I've actually talked to Andy a couple of times about those donation drop boxes. I have been noticing there are a couple that seem to be an issue around town. One of which is, again, today,
There's 2 black bags outside it.
after it was addressed yesterday. Again, today is a problem on my way here. One of those bags was stuffed into it, now there's only one, as I was on my way here.
You could conceal it to come up Chapin Street.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Is it the property owner that's fined at this point for the violation?
So,
We default to the owner of a piece of property is responsible for keeping that property in clean and sanitary, so we do find the property owner. Strange situation on this particular property, he never gave permission for those boxes to be put there. They just came up one day and put them there. So we have fined him, we are finding him again, and our recommendation to him is
Get them removed.
take them. I can't find phone number of the thing.
well, there,
It's
I
his,
looked for that
but
phone
that's
number.
but that's his property.
That's
so
his-
it's
I agree,
so
in my
it's
opinion,
his
somebody-
responsibility to get rid of it if he doesn't want it there.
In my opinion, somebody dumped something on my property, especially something made of metal, I'm gonna call a scrap guy and say, get this big chunk of metal off my property.
Exactly.
I do not have that.
Especially when it's costing me money.
Are
But
there any other drop boxes from
There-
that business
so-
in town?
So interestingly enough, if you look on I don't know if that one is Planet 8, but if you look on the town website, there are like 16 of those drop boxes all over town. There's quite a few of them. That particular one seems to be quite an issue, and I don't know if it's just because I drive past it every day
I
that I
have
have
trouble
to,
with probably 4 different ones.
there's several that seem to be a big problem.
I have thus far attacked them on the blight. I did do a presentation to the council on blight, the condition of blight, our response to blight, and our future of blight. And I proposed a zoning bylaw regarding these things, basically so that we can, 1, permit them and know where they are. 2, make sure they're all tagged so that it says leaving items outside this is considered littering and subject to fine.
Right.
And 3, make it very clear that we can hold the property owners responsible for the mess. I think that we need to work through zoning on that, but I think we as a Board of Health could conceivably put together that law and present it to zoning or present it to the planning board as a amendment to the zoning. I would propose that it be considered a use group, and we would define what zones it can be in, what, it can't be in residential neighborhoods, 1 or 2 family neighborhoods. It can't be a primary use on a piece of property. It has to be a not accessory use, but a secondary use, and it cannot be on a vacant property. These are just some ideas that I would come up with, and obviously I would reach out to the board for their ideas, but we could write the law and present it to the zoning board, planning board for consideration.
Okay.
So you're the one that's familiar, will probably draft something and bring it back for review. It would be a zoning, but not a public health
I think we have the power to go after them under public health, under the
Blight.
blight and the housing code, which says the owner of any piece of property, vacant or otherwise, has to keep it clean. So I think we already have the authority under the little laws, under that law. I just think that it would be nice to have a little more power within the town as a whole to control these things and to very clearly lay responsibility of maintenance. Also, again, it would help to identify where these things are showing up, and if they show up illegally, we can order them removed.
I like the idea that they can't be on vacant lots, because that's just a recipe for a dumping ground.
Yep.
And at least if there's something else there, at least you know who's responsible. There's an address, there's a person.
Yeah, we could also, as part of the zoning, as part of the law, we could require them to put the contact information on it. If it doesn't have contact information, it's gotta go. Because this one that you speak of is, I can't even find it on, I'm Googling it, I can't find
Actually,
contact information.
you find the property owner, but you should be finding the people that own the dumpster. not own
Well,
the
he
dumpster.
can't find, there's no contact information.
I can't put contact information on it.
But I mean,
Well,
but like, who's coming
But we
to
could
clean them
find
out?
them for dumping, illegal dumping, because they're throwing something.
They aren't, the people who are dumping at their site is. They put the box there with the intent that you're supposed to put it in the box.
So it doesn't matter, the box itself is what's,
The box is the law.
but the box itself is dumping, it's like a washing machine or a dryer, but it's a big empty box. So I think that there's enforcement efforts that could be made in fines, that could be assessed on whatever basis. I don't know what the policy is in town, but start finding them every single day as long as they're out there. You know, you could make them things that have to be permitted. In other towns that I've seen, this Plainfield, Connecticut, you have to get permits. for-
Springfield, Connecticut.
Plainfield.
I think Auburn is debating a similar bylaw.
When I was in Auburn, we were talking about it, but then Adam Burney left, and I think the thing, I'll talk to Matt. I'll see if Matt is still involved in it.
Why can't you just have it removed? Why can't you just have DPW remove it?
Because it's private property, and it's a private piece of equipment. We can't have DPW go on your property and remove something from your property.
But you just said the landowner says he has no idea how they got there.
But if he doesn't want
He
it
can
on his
remove it.
property, he can remove it, or he can have it
But the
removed.
town can't go on private property until it's a private.
Okay.
Okay.
Can the
So-
landowner ask the town to remove it?
I would say
Like
no.
by
don't have-
writing something?
The town doesn't have authority to go on. Why am I spending tax dollars?
I'm not saying we should, I mean, he should have to pay the bill, I mean, but,
But then he could just call a junker, you know, and call somebody and say, hey, I have this big piece of scrap metal.
right.
Come
Well,
and haul it away,
Right.
That's
They-
true. Yeah.
get it off my property.
Shame on the
You
people who
could find the
dumped it.
person, the business, if there was an extra effort because of the ability to collect the fees and fines
I can look at the laws and
associated
see.
with dumping.
Hmm.
Because it really is, if you chuck something that big on somebody's lawn, I call it dumping.
Oh, it is, actually.
That's
I
it.
mean, if he, you know, if he's claiming that, oh, I didn't tell him they could put it there, well, it's your, I mean, it's still your property, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
I think Sue
There's a
has,
law.
I think it's.
I think
fine.
Sue has the simplest solution. We just treat this like any dumping. You know, it's blight. It's
Well, that's
it's a
what I'm
blight
saying.
issue, and we just treat it that way.
I agree, the boxes themselves, I can
Right.
probably say, if I can get the owner to write something in writing that says, I gave no authority for this to be
Yeah.
here, I can probably go after the company to say, you illegally dumped that box there, you had no permission to put it there. Problem one is, I can't find the contact information for this company.
But why do you need to? Because
In
if
order
we're,
to cite the company, I need to.
no, you're not citing the company, you're citing,
No,
You're
you're
citing-
citing the company because it's the company that
company
did
did
the
it.
Because the
dumping.
company's the one that dumped
And
it.
because he's a reasonable person, you kind of
Okay.
have to be fair when you.
no, I understand. I'm not saying that we should collect, think about it. If there was, if somebody had a vacant lot and a washing machine was dumped there and all that, it's their responsibility to, who would you agree, but who would you find? You can't find the person who dumped the washing
If-
machine.
If somebody had a piece of land if you own the piece of land
Yeah,
and Beth dumped a bag of trash on your land,
and you had no idea.
I would go through that trash, and if I found Beth's name in that trash,
That's not,
I would hit Beth for illegal
that's
dumping.
not what I'm saying. So
Yeah,
let's not,
let me finish, let me,
no,
let me
because
finish.
there's a washing
Let me finish.
machine as it.
If I did not find her name in that trash,
Yeah.
I would cite you,
Right,
because you own the land and it's your responsibility to keep it clean.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
So I cite the owner of the
So
land.
we treat this as a regular dumping.
Yes.
It's not dumping. Dumping is the person who dumped. He's maintaining conditions that are unsanitary. If they keep it there, that's when you find the property owner. But why continue to punish somebody when we know it wasn't their fault? There are two
But
avenues
he's,
that you can take.
but he's allowing it to continue.
He's allowing this to be
That's,
there.
that's Dave's point, he's allowing it
He's
to
not removing
continue.
a nuisance.
That's,
He has the power and the authority to remove the nuisance, he chooses not to. So I see it from,
You've done both, but I'm saying you go after
right.
both, but you should be trying to collect.
no, no
Right.
doubt, but
If I
if you
could find
can't
it,
But
find
if
it,
you
Right,
right, but if you can't find it,
But we
you
should
tell
act-
this person, you gotta get that out of there. Don't,
I feel very strongly that we should be the advocates of the people in town who are victims
But
of
if,
this rather than
but if
punishing
he's
them
not, but if
for-
he's not choosing to do something about it, which he has the authority to do so, he's allowing that to continue.
he's,
How do you know they have the money to do it? You
No,
can't
no.
just call somebody up and pick up one of those things and cart it off.
It's scrap metal, there's a value to scrap
There's
metal.
value,
It's-
there's money.
he's
I think
saying he has no
as
idea.
much- As much as we can do,
Right.
starting now, to get rid of all of the
No.
town, asking the people to collect, do it in a way that's helpful
I-
to the property owners who are actually victims.
I don't disagree that the person who put it there is ultimately, but let's not say that it's okay because you just can't find a name on the box, okay? Because whoever the property owner owns the property, and it's like, this is on their property, it should not be there. It's
And all
creating,
we're saying is that you will advise them of this, not do it in any kind of punitive way, because they're in the same position right now that we are. You're just starting to discuss this.
Oh, no, this has been going on for quite some time.
But you haven't proposed to them that they call somebody and get rid of it themselves. You just,
He's had,
Oh, he was
Yes,
told
yes.
that, when I inspected Form 10,
he's,
it's on your property, if they didn't give you permission to put it there. He said, it's like my land, if somebody dumps on my land, it's up to me to get rid of it.
if I own that
So they've
property
been
and
informed
somebody
of that.
put a big dumpster, put one of those things on my property without my permission, if we follow this logic, then I have the right to have that removed, correct? Get it removed, it has value, it's not costing him anything, just have it removed and scrapped, okay? If that's the case, he can do that, and not saying you're fining him, but just take care of this issue.
so there are 14
This should not
of
be
them in
allowed.
town.
they're all
It's
over the
14 or
place.
16 in town.
So it's not just one person that we're talking about, and that's what
No,
I.
there's
No, a
no,
lot of
no,
these,
no,
a
most
lot
of
of these
them
are
are fine.
legally there. A lot
Most
of
of
these
them
are,
are fine, there's just a
they
handful
make
that are
bank
problems.
off of it. If you own a piece of property and have one of these boxes put on your property, there's a lot of money coming to you. This particular one, they never asked permission, according to the owner, they never asked permission, they just put it there. But the ones that
This-
have a contract with the property owners, they pay a pretty dime to have those things kept there.
This particular one, Sue, consistently has just stuff strewn all over the place. It is not maintained, no one picks anything up. There's bags thrown all over the property. It's a disaster on a daily basis.
And we're just saying, this isn't okay. It's not, and he can't just throw his hands up and say, I don't know who the owner is, therefore, it can just stay there forever. I mean, it's like, we need to do something about this. So I'm for it, just, he needs to do something about it, because, or he's responsible.
Most of them are fine. Because I see it in most of them.
You know what else we learned? The people who have the legal ones that are getting paid, know the contact information.
I think we should put that, if we draft up a law, I think the contact information of the company should be on the box.
Right.
Should be posted right on the box, and if it's not on the box, then that is reason for us to remind it. We'll put in this up on the town clerk, if there's no kind of notification. And we'll hold it for, 30 days after the DPW, thereafter we'll scrap it.
But at a cost.
Yeah, storage. Storage and
The
towing.
removal.
Yeah, they won't be getting anything in it, so they'll do something about it, they won't be making any money on it. But I think that's part of the larger, issue of just the whole blight in town, of just removing, those kind of things that are just unnecessarily creating a less, hospital environment, hospitable. I was starting to say habitable, but that was the wrong word.
Kind of fits too.
Yeah, all set. Thank you.
So I will draft up, I will call Auburn, see where they stand. I will call Plainfield, Connecticut, see if they have a good one I can start with, and then I will adapt and adjust. Bring it back to this board, and I would love to have your input on what you would like to see, and then we will present it as the Board of Health to the planning board for consideration.
Thank you. You all set, Pat? All right, subcommittee announcements, landfill oversight, I think we have.
Landfill oversight, you asked me to go out and do some research. I believe the question was, and I think Dave initiated it with, can this board act as a landfill oversight committee? I'm going to say no. This board is, the requirement of the landfill oversight committee was specifically 2 board members, a member of the airport commission, a member of the airport commission, the airport manager, a member from SRD, and 1 or 2 citizens, 2 citizens, to be appointed by the board in consultation with town council, CIO. So this board cannot act as the LOC. Conceivably, we could try to reconstruct the LOC and have the meeting immediately previous to this meeting so that it just flows into the next one and it wouldn't be that much inconvenient to whoever is on this board sitting. So we could schedule this board for 7 and the LOC for 6:30, and it could just kind of bleed into it. The other members of the LOC could leave out. Additionally, the obligation of the LOC is to meet 4 times a year or as needed. Now, I don't know if you interpret that as more often or less often, if it doesn't have to meet 4 times a year.
What's the exact language that it says?
The committee shall meet on a quarterly basis or as needed,
Okay.
and shall produce an annual report to the board, so once a year. But when Dean was running this, he was proposing that the LOC go through all of the old tapes of the hearings and answer all the questions and that as the report to the board. And I'm like, that's not what the mission of this. The applicant shall submit a report to the committee on a monthly basis, which shall include bird activity, environmental monitoring results, traffic counts, tonnage at the landfill facility and processing facility, any corrective actions taken to eliminate or reduce the nuisance activities, stormwater control, and anticipated activities in the upcoming months. And I think the landfill committee has tried to grow bigger than that. The purpose of the landfill committee is to evaluate and advise the Board of Health in regard to any potential problems resulting from the landfill facility's operation. So, I think,
That was
As
why
we
we
try
wanted
to-
to look at the tires and things like
Right.
that showed up.
right, I think as we try to reconstruct this landfill oversight committee, we should keep it within the mission of they're to look at and to oversee, not oversee the operations of the landfill, but to kind of take into consideration any problems the landfill's having or causing and bring that back to the board. The annual report, I would think, would just be a compilation of the environmental reports and the trouble reports and all of the reports that the SRD is supposed to give the board monthly. So I don't think this is as
The SRD,
SID, I'm sorry, is Casella.
So this could just be the LOC meets ad hoc when there is an issue, for example, the tires, and they'll just meet, let's say, before our meeting, right? And they have the discussion with the people involved, the list that you said. And that report to the board could happen at that meeting. It could come immediately, it could be the
I would
report.
say the report would probably be a written report of a compilation of the minutes of the meetings, probably.
But let's say we had an issue, tires, for example.
Yep.
And then before our next landfill, or before our next, Casella landfill meeting. Is that what we're calling these landfill meetings, right?
Landfill meetings.
Landfill meetings. Before our next one, that they shall meet whatever, and then come to some recommendation to this board
To act
about that issue,
That issue,
that
yes.
one issue. And that would include the people that you had mentioned. They all have input into that to make a recommendation. So they don't need to meet every month, they don't need to meet, it's really, they only need to meet when there is an issue that needs a recommendation, that we need all the people on board, right?
Right,
and
I would-
that group needs support. I've been the chair for a while. I think there's been 3 meetings scheduled, 2 have not been posted, so we haven't held them. I have no idea who the airport commissioner and manager are. I never hear back from them, so it's not organized. I can send out a notice of a meeting, but if nobody responds, that really isn't in keeping with the intent of that. The 2 citizen members and Tracy have all agreed to come to the meetings, but we haven't been able to have them because they haven't been posted. If we set up a schedule, we could have the meeting, but this committee or the Board of Health isn't responsible for setting the times for this committee's meeting. That committee has to decide amongst themselves when it's to meet, but when it's supposed to meet, it actually has to take place.
I would also advise that the committee